Yeah, you ever had one of those fabulous days when everything was going good, but then you had to insert yourself and fuck it up? Yeah, you've had one of those days. Who hasn't? Well, I won't waste time complaining and withering on about my mistakes. But needless to say, I was absent-minded. I wasn't paying enough attention. Oh, the kind of mistake that's not necessarily would trigger a dark night of the soul, but it depends on where you're at and where you're going and what has transpired to really determine what kind of dark night of the soul one might have. And then again, is it really a dark night of the soul if there's no change? I think dark nights of the soul precipitate change. It's the only evidence you could ever have that it was a dark night of the soul. Perhaps it was, but you did not enact change following it. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. There's no proof to it, though, at that point. So a dark night of the soul precipitates change. It is a difficult thing sometimes to be forgiven. I think there are a lot of people in the world, jaded people. I can't say that I'm excluded from this at all, actually. That to be forgiven, to be readily forgiven by people that genuinely care, genuinely matter, are genuine people. It can be a lot for a person who has suffered many trials, who has beaten upon themselves as much as anybody else has beaten upon them, figuratively, whatever, actually, whatever. I get disappointed with myself these days. I don't get disappointed with other people. I can forgive them easier than I can myself. And even though to err is human, and everybody has moments where they make mistakes, it doesn't seem to make it any less difficult to really give yourself a hard time over mistakes. There's not really much to be said or done to alleviate. I mean, and the person that's beating themselves over a mistake doesn't want alleviation. They want to hurt. They want to hurt themselves. They want to be. They're angry, and they're not angry outwardly. It's a thing to not be angry outwardly, to not be absolutely wrathful outwardly, and to actually being upon oneself, to being angry, to being wrathful, to being so done with certain human qualities. So it's a misnomer. It doesn't necessarily mean good. People hear the word human quality and they think positively, but it's neither. It's neutral. The human quality it could be bad or good. It's not really the point. I think a succession of good days, end on end on end, might delude the spirit. It might confuse the spirit. It might confuse the soul. It might delude the soul. It might confound the wise. It's possible. It's possible. So we're at 5 minutes. I'm going to cut off the Late Night Ramble and do a series on the channel called Late Night Rambles. If you listen this long, well, fucking bravo. Hell yeah. Thank you. And Maybe we'll run into each other sometime.